Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Oh, I wish I was dust. When he has seen his inevitable ending, he will say, Ya laytani kuntu turaba. I wish I was dust. These disbelievers who wish they will live forever. Who knows what happened to the body of Walt Disney? Does anyone know what's happened to the body of Walt Disney? Can anyone tell me? It's frozen. His body has been frozen by his own choice. Because he said, when technology advances, they'll be able to bring me back to life. The fool. He said when the technology advances, they will bring him back to life. But he didn't realize that his body dies, but his soul doesn't. Because you die once and you live twice. You die, your mortal body takes the death of this world, but you live in this life and in the afterlife. So his soul lives forever. So when he did die and he did freeze himself, the angels tore his soul from his body. And this person who wants to live forever, on that day he will say, Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Oh, I wish that I was dust. This is the fate of those who are failed. So on this day, the Prophet ﷺ said, اقرأوا القرآن فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة شفيعا لصاحبه. Read the Quran, because on this day the Quran will come as a shafi' for you, as an intercessor. If you understood the Quran in the Taraweeh prayer, you would read, recently they were talking about, there will be people that will be thrown into the fire. And they will be cursing ukhtaha, their relatives. He says, therefore, or is this person's fault? Allah will bring the idols that they worshipped and say, ask your idols for intercession to help you. All these idols that they worshipped, they will be brought to the scene of Yawm al-Qiyamah and ask them for intercession. No one can save them. So there you are, swimming in your own sweat from the fear of Allah. This Quran that you recite, it was an intercessor for you. It can save you from the fire and intercede for you and ask for Allah's forgiveness over you. The Quran that you recite, it will come as an intercessor for the person. And he ﷺ said, Al-Qur'anu shafi'u mushfi' wa mahilu musaddiq man ja'alahu amamahu qadahu ila al-jannah wa man ja'alahu khalfahu saqahu ila an-nar. The Quran is a shafi' mushfi'. It's an intercessor entitled for intercession. And it is a strong challenger and rightfully entrusted. So it will argue on your behalf on Yawm al-Qiyamah. He said, this person used to read me daily. He used to read me and think about me. I will argue on your behalf on Yawm al-Qiyamah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Quran. Man ja'alahu amamahu qadahu ila al-jannah. Whoever put it in front of him, it will lead him to al-jannah. What do you mean put it in front of you? Not just stick it on your head, like the Jews do in the Wailing Wall. They put it on their head. Don't mean like this. I mean whoever makes it lead him. Whatever it tells him, he will do it. Whatever he forbids him, he will leave it. And when he tells him to enjoin the good and forbid the evil, he will do it. When he tells him to distribute the wealth properly, he will do it. When he tells him to fight jihad, he will fight jihad. This is when he puts the Quran in front of him. The Quran is leading him. Just like the owner of the dog leads his dog. Let the Quran lead us. Let it lead us into Jannah. Because it says, Man ja'alahu imamu qadahu ila Jannah. Whoever puts it in front of him, it would lead him to Jannah. The Quran will lead you to Jannah if you listen to it, read it, follow it, and make sure that it's applied in this dunya. Because as I mentioned last week, the Quran has been made useless, made obsolete. So make sure that it leads you and that you make it applied in life. وَمَنْ جَعَلَهُ خَلْفُ سَاقَهُ إِلَى النَّارِ. And whoever put it behind him, it will lead him to the hellfire. Whoever forgot it, put it on the top shelf, let it gain dust, recite it once in a while, or recite it when someone has died, or recite it at the wedding. He's put it behind him. Then that Qur'an will be like an anchor pulling you into the hellfire, because you neglected it. Or whoever just recites it, and recites it, and recites it, but does not ponder upon it, does not apply it, does not follow it in totality, he has made useless the Qur'an. Because as I mentioned last week, the Qur'an is not a book of hymns. It's not just to be recited. It is to be followed, and it is to lead you, and it's to applied in life. How can it take mankind from the darkness into the light if it's just a book to be read? Rather, every ayah of it should be applied in life, should be pondered upon, should be thought about, and should change the souls of men. This is the Qur'an al-Kareem. This is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the book that will save us from the hellfire. وأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي.